Yo, what up, street dogs, street gods, street vlogs? Erkim in the house. All right, some thoughts. How to become a master photographer, right? We all want to master photography. We all want to become the next HCB. So how does one does this? Okay, so first and foremost, just Google Erkim Masters, Erkim Learn from the Masters. You get the information, right? But to talk some more philosophy. Okay, so first and foremost, what does it mean to be a master? Master, domus, master, maestro, teacher. Essentially, to be a master just means to be self-confident in what you do. So essentially, after learning all these master photographers, my big takeaway is that ultimately everyone's kind of a poor role model. Maybe Erkim's the only good role model. Even HCB, Henri Cartier-Bresson, is a bad model because he gave up photography at the end of his life. This is my theory. He was low-key penis envy of his fellow artist painter friends. Even from the get-go, Henri Cartier-Bresson, he didn't actually even want to be a photographer. He wanted to be a painter. Look at his early works, right? He wanted to be a surrealist, right? And then it was a branding thing, right? And then Robert Capa, his best friend, was like, nah, just think of yourself as a reportage photographer, right? And it's funny, over time, the terms change. So, he picks up a camera, fed a golden silver spoon, rich kid with a family with the textiles industry, right? It's like, I'm going to Africa, cool, I'm going to find myself. HCB was the original millennial, right? So it's like, oh, this is a new camera. It's like a compact camera. It's called a Leica. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Takes that long. Finds out he's really good at it, right? And he talks about a photo of Martin Muninsky or something. Kids, silhouettes of 3 kids playing by the beach. He was inspired by it. Goes out, takes a picture. Finds out he's really good at it, right? And then he's just like, yes, but the camera is just a sketchbook. It's why French people so pretentious, or HCB so pretentious. But anyways, gets really good. And towards the end of his life, what's his most famous photo? Jumping man puddle photo, right? But he hated the picture because effectively people would just ask to buy that print. He's like, but I have all these other good works. And they're like, no, we want the jumping man, right? It's kind of like if you use, a cover band or a band, Beatles, whatever's, you go on stage, just like, all right, guys, I got some new music. They're like, no, play your old stuff, right? So this is why Bob Dylan, when he went electric, people booed him off stage. And I think this is even where Kanye is such a genius. It's like, I miss the old Kanye. So like, people's like, yeah, I miss Kanye's old works when he used to talk about like racial justice and poverty and equality. I'm like, he already did that. Like, don't make him just rehash what he's already done, right? Even Nassim Taleb has this quote. It's like, I'm not gonna rehash Anti-Fragile for people who have yet read my book, right? So allow yourself to advance. But anyways, towards the end of his life, he just ends up giving up photography. I think the reason why he gave up photography was I think he just had low self-confidence and self-esteem. His best friends with all, Picasso, all the painters that did about this and stuff like that. And effectively, his whole life, he just wanted to be a painter. And he was punished by the punishment of success. And towards the end of his life, he gave up photography, and he says, photography is not a real legitimate art form, it's just painting. It's funny, like the Henri Cartier-Bresson Foundation, the HCB Foundation, they never quote that, right? Just Google it. It's like, Google's like, Henri Cartier-Bresson thoughts on photography, legitimacy towards the end of life. Another pro tip is, the best way to gain greater insight about any artist is work backwards, on their deathbed backwards. So what does a real artist say about their deathbed? Their artwork on the deathbed, from the end of the life, working their way backwards. And what it seems is that even Henri Cartier-Bresson, right? He just gave it up. And also this is why it looks good to Matisse. Look at the works of Matisse, the simple cutouts. Any kid with cardboard, paper, and scissors could do it. And even my friend Mahesh told me something interesting. It's like, even was it Picasso? Yeah, I think Picasso. Picasso, he discovered photography, then is like, now that I discovered photography, now I could die in peace. I'm like, wow, that's so great. And so artists all tend to, I really think that all artists should start lifting weights, 1 rep max style, hype lifting, because, you know, I was in downtown LA the other day. This new aesthetic for artists is that, like, they're kind of emo, super duper skinny, frail, weak looking, no muscle mask, a mask, not looking happy and stuff like that. So like, come barges in Eric Kim into the coffee shop, right? Shout out to Il Cafe in downtown LA, my favorite joint. I'm like, look like, what am I starting looking like? I look like a fitness influencer, right? Busting in and like all Lululemon clothing, super jovial, happy, big muscle mass, big smile on my face, and like chatting up everyone. Everyone's like looking at me as like, I'm like, it's like jump in there. Shout out to DJ Cosmo, and then and then like some like you know, jumper's like, yeah, I didn't get 2 waters, and like some emo cash register guy can kind of give me the side eye, and he's like, hey man, excuse me, I'm taking this other person order. I'm like, it's cool. And so yeah, it's almost not cool to be happy. It's not cool to be jovial and gay and jovial. But anyways, yeah, I think the sign of being a real man, a real mensch, is to be happy, jovial, and gay. But anyways, taking it back to the notion of becoming a master in photography, essentially it's wise to study all the masters of photography, and then you have to kill them, right? Cut the umbilical cord. I think my biggest benefit of studying the masters of photography was it taught me like the biases in photography, the goods and the do's and the don'ts, the do-dos, and ultimately at the end of the day you could upend all of it, right? And why is it that everyone's seeking a master, right? I mean, one thing I'm pretty happy about is I never got into kind of more the Indian philosophy of like seeking a guru or whatever. It's kind of, that stuff's a little bit, I mean, I was born in 88, so growing up I kind of dodged that bullet, whereas Steve Jobs didn't seem to do so. So everyone's trying to look for a master or a guru, and I'm like, no, you just use your own master, right? Master and slave, right? Not gonna be the master, don't be the master, don't be the slave, right? And I say slave as a metaphor, right? It's like, you don't want to be the servant. Even to be a service worker, servant, server, servus, I mean servant, slave. So actually even the sad thing is he's a college educated young person working as a server. Certainly it's good pay, and it's, you know, everyone needs to pay their rent somehow, but Nietzsche even has this thought, is that the future people, the future masters of the earth, poor but with more control and whatever. And also the funny thing too is like, even people I know with net worth in the 20M range, they just like drive basic Tesla Model 3, like the super cheapest one. Don't drive the Plaid. Just go Plaid yourself. You can go buy the Plaid. Even with the Lambo, I'm like, yo, you transform your body into the Lambo. I would say just take all that monies and put it towards you know, Costco Business Center, buy your bunch of meat to put on Bitcoin. My thoughts is, you know, thoughts on Bitcoin, I mean, it may not be the future, whatever's, but the whole issue now with inflation, this is my thought, right? It's like a lot of families are starting to live together in one mega house complex. So the young people who used to work the menial labor jobs no longer, after COVID, they're like, I don't want to work anymore. It's like, I could afford Netflix, $10 a month, and play my video games. So looks like all the young people now, all they do is play video games, smoke weed, watch Netflix, and stay at home. And so it's just like, I call it the McDonald's inflation index. If McDonald's is offering $16.10 an hour and people still ain't biting, not a good sign for the economy. So the US dollar, the US government keep increasing the debt ceiling, pumping more trillions of dollars into the economy, fake monies. And even now, I look at $20 bill, I'm like, this is monopoly money, this is fake money, it ain't real, right? So, I mean, at least Bitcoin has an upper limit. I mean, it might be viable 30 years from now, maybe not, but it seems that the wise thing to do is just kind of live a pseudo life of poverty, simulated poverty, stoic style, Eric Kim stoic style, and yeah, just allow yourself to pursue certain ends in photography. So some other funny thoughts. the Panasonic Leica Q is disguise of so I was doing my workshop with Mahesh, and he shoots with Leica Q, and I was so surprised it's just popping in Lumix batteries into the bottom, and Lumix is owned by Panasonic Lumix. So the Leica Q is essentially the Leica Q is a Panasonic Lumix camera in disguise. So the Q1, Q2, Q3, 4, 5, whatever's. I'm like, bro, if it uses Lumix batteries, you know, aha, caught you, right? So it's like the Leica Q3, right? It's like a Panasonic Lumix with a body kit or with a red dot, right? So my thought is, if you really want a good camera, and I'm recording this with a Panasonic Lumix G9, even the Leica Lumix, you know, Summilux, whatever's. So yeah, it's just don't be stupid. Even a Lamborghini, it's like, bro, you're just driving an Audi with a body kit, right? Like the Huracan is essentially an Audi R8 with a body kit. The Lamborghini Urus is an Audi Q8 RS something with a body kit. Aventador, Prius Prime plug-in with a bigger engine and whatever. So it's not even cool. It's like, if you really want to flex, it's not through your car, it's through your body, right? Conspiracy theories. So I lift over 10 plates at the gym and you finna become demigod, semi-deus. So yeah, don't get the Q3, just get the get a Lumix, or just get a Ricoh GR3, 3X, 4, whatever, 5, 6, 8, 10. This video finna get outdated soon. And yeah, so becoming a master in photography is to just look at your own photos and just be like, do I like them or not? And know that each individual photo is not that big of a deal. The more robust goal is to always stay inspired, to keep traveling the world, go down to LA, go Saigon, go Korea, all around the world, whatevs. And you posit for yourself that you are the master. And also own your own website domain. You can start building your own website. I mean, doesn't know how nerdy you is, but then Amazon Amazon Web Services offers a pretty easy WordPress thing, and it's only like $4 a month. It's so cheap. It's like, bro, if you can't afford $3.50 a month, it's like, nah. So I'm thinking about maybe even do a workshop on how to do it. But anyway, just Google it, how to build a WordPress website with Amazon Web Services, AWS, Lightsail, and then boom, just get started and just copy and paste some code. And I think this is the new solution and goal. I made a few new websites with it, like Eric Kim philosophy.com is hosted on it. Have some other domains in the works. And yeah, get off Instagram. Instagram is like eating McDonald's. It's like, so what's your Instagram, bro? That's like saying like, I like to eat chicken nuggets, right? It's not the way. And even Mahesh made an interesting observation, is that it looks like nowadays Instagram is just trying to become the next TikTok. So it's becoming more and more about what the reels and the videos and stuff like that. And yeah, and so I mean, I'm in the midst of working on a new photo platform myself. I don't know what I'm gonna call it, but stay updated. But yeah, just know that ultimately use the master in photography and care less about what other people think.